Hello and welcome into High School Hoops, the show the players watch. I'm Alex Eisman.
And I'm Deshaun Johnson. High school basketball season is fully up and running here in Mid-Michigan with the girls team's opening play this week, and we're bringing you 6 games of highlights tonight.
And we'll start with the boys slate. Our featured game on that side is another intriguing crosstown rivalry matchup.
That's right, Alex. Nouvelle and Michigan Lutheran Seminary squared off for the first time this season tonight in Saginaw, and this matchup was intense. Heading into the second half, Nouvelle held a tight lead, but in the final moments of the first, Noah Reef firing one from the corner, and he is money. That gave MLS the lead heading into the lockers. Then in the second half, opening with that same intensity, Tommy Luzzo going into the contact for the score. Now the Panthers bringing their own intensity, though. That's Sean Foley using the hop step to get the score. That was a nice move, but right back on the other side, Cardinals looking for another 3, and they got it. Andrew Miller knocking that one down to the home team. Now needing a response, it's Kobe Box in the corner, stepping into a mid-range shot. That one falls, and now these teams are just trading blows late. Here comes Jake and Boyd, full speed, gets bumped, somehow still gets the shot to go. That bucket tied things up with 30 points each with just minutes left. However, Kobe Box not ready to give in yet, putting in the floater. Panthers in the lead once again, and now with just 20 seconds left, Cardinals desperate for a shot. They go to their man Keith, and somehow he gets it to fall. That shot forcing overtime, which quickly turned into double overtime. This matchup went on for some extra time, but in the end, the Cardinals pulled out the win. Final score 47-45.
All right, down to Flushing we go. The Raiders hosting Kearsley in a Flint Metro League matchup. Andrew Valerio connects from distance before Aiden Schreiner gets a pair on the other end. The Hornets senior keeps making plays. A tray ball lands to extend their lead in the first half, but then Caleb Metcalf absolutely goes to work. That's an and one for the Flushing senior as he fights through contact. They'll go back to him down low, and how about another and one? And the Raiders are shifting the momentum in this game. Jarrell Pano gets a big one for Kearsley here to try and stop the bleeding, but Metcalf grabs the errant pass later. He's off and running the other way and caps it all off with a two-hand slam. The Fieldhouse going ballistic. Will stay on their side for Langston Dickerson bearing a 3 to extend the lead. Hornets need a play. Caden Martin pulls down the rebound, starts weaving through Flushing defenders, and the finger roll off the glass drops. And in the final seconds before half, it's Valerio. It's good from distance. Flushing would carry that juice over to the second half and end up pulling away an impressive 62-46 victory. Now we'll head over to Burton with Bentley hosting IAF. Phoenix kick out to Brandon Jackson in the corner, who hits the triple. Other end inside to Jordan Walker, and he earns it there. A pair for the Bulldogs. They're trying to build momentum, but it's swatted away by Jamil Arter emphatically. Afterwards, Jay-Sean Gill elevates and rattles the rim with that dunk. A shot of energy for IAF. Same side, Kalen Gregory knocks down the floater to extend their lead, but Bentley comes storming back. Angel Vela swings out to Anthony France. Bottom for the Bulldogs, and France wasn't done either on the wing, and he keeps pouring on the threes. Now it's Bentley after a turnover. Anthony Franklin going the other way, hits the spin move and converts on the layup. They're all the way back in it now. Phoenix looking to answer, and a critical make for Antonio Santiago. They needed it, but once again, the Bulldogs punch back. Franklin knocks down the tray ball. These teams battling it out. How about 3 for IAF, courtesy of Dario Felder? It wasn't easy, but when the dust settled, the Phoenix ended up taking the win tonight. So we were talking about this a little earlier on the phone, and I heard how loud it was in the building for that Nouvelle Seminary game. Just tell me about the environment and how exciting that game was tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the biggest games as far as intensity that we've seen all year. From the moment I walked in, it was super loud, and believe it or not, when we were chatting on the phone, those are the MLS kids getting hype. Ultimately, you see what they were able to do, finishing out in double overtime, and their crowd brought it tonight.
Both schools' fan bases bring it every time they play each other. It doesn't matter the sport, so you always love to go to one of those games, but don't go anywhere because we still have our girls' basketball highlights to get to in a few minutes.
Our featured game is a Flint Metro League Stars battle between Goodrich and Owasso. Highlights from the Martians Gym and more coming up after the break. Welcome back in from the break. It's time to cover our girls basketball action from tonight, and we'll tip it off in Goodrich.
It was another Flint Metro League Stars battle between the Martians and the visiting Owasso Trojans. The Martians returned a lot of firepower from last year and took control of this one in the first half. We go to the second as the freshman Katarina Farrick converts the reverse, and afterwards Sienna Wilson lays one up and in. Trojans still fighting, though. The mid-range for Rhea Buggs is true. Then Danica Dwyer hauls in the board, turns on the gas. She's going to go coast to coast for the layup with the foul on top of it. But then Sydney Place swipes a pass. She's able to track it and launch a strike to Madeline Charteau in stride, who finishes the play with a deuce. And Goodrich feeling real good about this one. They kick to a wide open Olivia Millard in the corner. That's three more. And then Charlie Pankey works in the paint. The high floater is on the money. Brooklyn Webb with a steal here. No one around her. Another easy bucket for the Martians, and it was just that kind of night overall. Goodrich looking like they're going to be a problem again this year. They win at 58-19.
Second girls game of the night, it's Frankenmuth taking on Bridgeport. Bearcats facing a deficit in the third, but still showing the extra effort as Brittany Johnson gets the tip in to go. But on the other side, Eagles now on the inbound. They get it over to Macy Donovan. She looks, then cuts right through multiple defenders for the score at the cup. And then Lucy Konzelman showing off the quick hands, gets the steal. And how about the court vision? Quick pass to Addie Bickle for the lay-in. The visiting team taking some damage, but they weren't done yet as Addison Buckley Brazil creating a lane for the strong layup. However, the Eagles, they just had a response for every Bridgeport basket. On the inbound again, trying to set up for a three. Konzelman drills it. So the home team in a groove now. Bickle coming away with the steal. She catches everyone off guard and gets the easy transition points. Then a few plays later, Konzelman, that one looks like the dagger, and it was. The Eagles looking like a complete unit. Meanwhile, the Bearcats not able to keep up. Frankenmuth takes the win. Final score 56-34.
We'll wrap up from Bendel with the Tigers facing Flint Elite. Tamaya Matthews grabs the loose ball. It goes to Danielle Smoot-Green, who does the rest. But Kaylin Pollock returns the favor. She picks off the pass and outruns everyone. Defense into offense, and that is two for the Tigers. We'll stay on this side. The freshman Aubrey Stanley pulls up and banks in a three-pointer, and you can tell she's having some fun out there after that shot. Warriors trying to respond. Kayla Buggs steals it, gives herself a wide-open look for a layup. But a lot of passes intercepted in this game. This time it's Kira Caton for Bendel. Back and forth we go as Caton takes that all the way back for a bucket. Now Kendra Waller gets the feed just inside the three-point line and knocks it down. Flint Elite with possession now. First shot stuffed, but Smoot-Green snags it, puts it back up for a couple more. It was a tightly contested game for a while, but ultimately the Warriors are going home with the win.
Now we'll take a look at some of our matchups from around the state, starting with girls basketball. Open John Glenn, the Panthers able to take a big win over Swan Valley. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils a 37-29 win over Corona. And finally, Davison, they got a 10-point win over Saginaw United.
All right, a couple of close ones up top here. Mount Pleasant holding off Bay City Western on their home court, 46-39. And Kearsley, the Hornets, take a 5-point victory in Flushing's barn. And finally, Alma, decisive victory against Garber.
Heading over to the boys' side of things, got a couple more close matchups, starting with another matchup. John Glenn, Swan Valley. John Glenn, 63-62. That's a close matchup there. And another close one here. Flint Elite, they took on Bendel, just an 8-point victory in that matchup. Finally, New Lothrop, just 42-38 over Chesaning at home. A good victory there as well.
Wrapping up our scoreboards, a couple 3-point victories here. Birch Run remains undefeated. They go on the road to beat Durand 52-49. And Goodrich tested tonight by Owasso, but the Martians are able to escape 45-42. And Saginaw United finally a get-right game for the Phoenix. They beat Davison by 19 points.
That's all for our high school basketball coverage tonight, but now it's time to look ahead to this weekend's college and pro-am games.
And we'll start with the Pistons, who were in action tonight. Detroit took on the Hawks at LCA, and what a performance it was. 142-115 over the Hawks. 8 players scored in double figures. And looking ahead to tomorrow, the Spartans go on the road to State College as they try and bounce back from last weekend's loss to Duke. Michigan also playing an away game. The undefeated Wolverines trying to stay that way against Maryland.
On to the women's side, 6th-ranked Michigan plays tomorrow at home against Akron. Wow, Michigan State is taking the court Sunday in Chicago against DePaul.
So looking at those women's games, assuming everything goes well, they shouldn't really be tested with those matchups. But on the men's side, a couple road Big Ten games. It'll be a nice opportunity to get a good look at both teams in that sort of setting. What are you kind of looking for out of the Spartans?
Definitely looking to see some consistency. You've only really got the chance to see one Big Ten game from Michigan State so far. Then obviously not everything going right with that Duke game last week, but a lot of good things you've seen from there. Seen a lot of good work from both of the big guys there. So just seeing that consistency moving on to more Big Ten play.
Absolutely. Being competitive with a team like Duke and pushing them to the very end, very impressive. They'll learn from it. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you again on Monday.